Thanks to Coach Bays for joining us there during our pregame to chat a little bit about the season and tonight's contest against the Raiders. Now time for our Northside Insurance starting lineups with locations in Centerville and Bloomfield. Call Amy or Sandy in Centerville or Lisa and Lynn in Bloomfield. For Mount Ayr, here is the starting five for head coach Brett Ruggles in his 16th year at the helm. We've highlighted for you number 11, Jason Frost. As we mentioned there in the pregame spiel, he is one of the best in South Central Iowa. 21.5 points per game, shooting 58% from the field on over 200 attempts. That's pretty darn good. 83% from the free throw line, almost 7 rebounds per game, close to 5 assists per game, 3 steals per outing. He fills it up. As for Centerville, here's how Coach Bays is going to put him out there here tonight, and we've highlighted for you Ryan Sinnott, who you heard me talk with Coach Bays about in that pregame interview. I've talked to a lot of coaches, all the other coaches around the South Central Conference here this season, and that's a name that they point out without being prompted. Ryan Sinnott being a young man who continues to get better out there on the hardwood. He's leading the way, close to just over actually 13 points a game, and also team leading 29 offensive rebounds. He's got 8 block shots, which also leads the Big Reds, so they'll need a big performance out of 21 tonight, as well as the rest of the guys out there on the floor to try to knock off this Raider bunch. So there you go for the Big Reds. They've been introduced here. Now the Raiders get introduced to the home crowd before we play some basketball tonight, which gets us into some final thoughts here before opening tip. Really, to me, the big key in this ball game for Centerville, if they want to try to overcome a pretty high-powered Raider attack, is you've got to keep this group of Mount Ayr out of transition and getting those turnovers that lead to buckets on the other end. Slow the game down. Make them operate in the half court. I'm not saying they can't shoot the ball, because they can. I mean, they're 51% from the field, 32% from downtown. But when they make it a track meet for Mount Ayr, in particular with Rice Reynolds, another name you're going to hear tonight, number 4, who's getting looks as a D1 track athlete, that's a recipe for disaster for Centerville. So do your best to try to keep this game as low scoring as you can, and also in the half court. Play it there, not on the run. In the circle, we'll see number 21, Ryan Sinnott, as well as number 4, Rice Reynolds, the young men we were just talking about for both teams. Whistle ready for play, 8 minutes on the clock. The ball is up, and Sinnott wins the tip for the Big Reds. Centerville will start with the basketball. Connor Stevens surveys a 2-3 zone to open the ball game. Tuttle gets inside the arc, back to Stevens. Inside pass, skying Daniel George got to it, but had his pass tipped and stolen by number 21, Tyler Martin. Turnover on the opening possession for the Big Reds. Other end, the floater doesn't fall for number 4, Rice Reynolds. And we got a kick ball underneath. It's going to stay with Mount Ayr. We've had Denise Ashby and Cindy Matthews already chiming into our comment section, which is brought to you by Cosby's U.S. Cellular, with locations in Albia, Bloomfield, and Centerville. Cosby's U.S. Cellular keeps you connected. Reynolds kicks it right wing 3 on the way from Pearson. Kicks off the back iron. Long rebound. Reached up. Reynolds grabs it, skies, and hits in the lane. An offensive board leads to points. Mount Ayr on the board first. Team that averages 68 points per contest, while Centerville sits with 45 on the year. And Reynolds forces another turnover. The second for the Big Reds. 3 on the way, is going to hit off the rim a couple of times from Jason Frost. Rebound for Sinnott. Ryan looks to run. Ahead, Stevens finds Sinnott, cutting to the basket. Good look for Ryan Sinnott, who's able to bank it in. Stevens able to keep himself under control in that fast-paced transition action back to the other end of the floor. Here, Pearson in the corner gives it back off to Tyler Martin. Also, Lynette Lemon and Rhonda Sturms with Go Big Reds in the comment section. Right wing 3, Frost, no. And Brody Tuttle had a good box out underneath. All tied up at 2. Almost 90 seconds in. Sinnott running the floor again. This time the left-hander doesn't go. George hits the offensive glass and gets the right-hander to fall in with some nice touch around the hoop. Well, we said it during the girls' game. It's one of my favorite sayings in the game of basketball. A hustle will be rewarded, and it was there for Daniel George. Here, left wing, a 3 on the way, and that falls for Braden Pearson. They work the ball around pretty darn well as a group. This Mount Ayr team, they average 14 assists per game, and they also get a lot of steals too. However, a throwaway there. Brody Tuttle, the recipient, after the Big Reds' third turnover was taken away by Jason Frost. Now a kick out. Left wing 3 on the way, off the iron. Rebound tip. George got it again underneath. Daniel got under the basket. Little out of control that time. Could not get the shot to go. Big Red fans wanted a foul call, didn't get it. On the other end, number 12, Pearson, underneath, missed the bucket. And the loose ball was tipped out of bounds by the Big Reds. 5-4, Raiders lead here early. 5.5 to go, first quarter. And are we going to reset the shot clock here? We should. That shot did hit the rim, and they will. That's why the official stopped the play for the moment prior to the inbounds pass here from Jackson Frost. Looking inside, and we have a offensive foul call here. We do, away from the basketball. I think they're going to get Tyler Martin for trying to create some space here. Yes, the sophomore is going to pick up his first personal. And give the Big Reds possession once more. A little pressure in the backcourt here from Riley Stark. Three-quarter court. Tuttle gets it back over to Brandon Shin. Back to Tuttle. They got to hurry, and they do. George wide open. Wait a minute. No, he got that pass off with 26 on the shot clock. It was close. I was watching it too. Brody Tuttle with 26 fired that pass ahead to Daniel George. Now, we're not going to be able to see on the replay the shot clock, but it sure looked like he got that pass ahead prior to that stoppage. 5-4, Raiders take over. Here on the other end, Frost skips it all the way to the right side for Stark. Inside, Connor Stevens able to get a steal out of that zone look defensively. Jump the passing lane. Tuttle fires it ahead to Shin, falling out of bounds, saved it to Stevens. Athletic play by Brandon Shin. Here, Sinnott gets bumped in the paint. Tyler Martin just picked up his second personal foul. And I assume that will have to take him out. Yes, he will go to the sideline here, replaced by number 5, Jackson Ruggles, the son of head coach Brett Ruggles, freshman. Second team foul as well on Mount Ayr. Tuttle taking matters into his own hands. Can't finish on the drive to the basket. Rebound for Jackson Frost. He'll look to run as they do. Pull-up jumper, hit it. No defense for that. And he's going to hit that pull-up jumper in transition. You just got to tip your cap and go play the next possession. Sander Norris cheering on the Big Reds 2 with us tonight here on Go SEC TV. Thanks for being along. Riley Stark picks up a personal foul here for the Raiders. His first, team third. Stopping the clock with 4.5 minutes to go in our opening frame. 7-4, Mount Ayr with the early advantage here on their home floor. Connor Stevens gets the inbounds pass from Shin. Connor between the circles, swings it left to Tuttle. Brody back over to the right for Stevens. Inside pass, Sinnott on the drive, takes it with the left hand, left it short. Rebound tipped to Pearson. George got a piece of it, but was trying to get it over to Sinnott. Frost, left wing, extra pass down on the baseline for number 4, Reynolds. They work it back around. Reynolds inside, couldn't bank in the shot. George tips the rebound to Brody Tuttle. Daniel George putting in some work on the interior right now, hitting that glass. Stevens finds Sinnott again in the lane. Pass tipped, though, and stolen by Pearson. It was Frost who caught a piece of it. On the other end, Pearson, no. It was Frost going up for a little tip back, but didn't get enough on it, and then he gets fouled under the bucket. Connor Stevens is going to pick up the first Big Red foul of the game and put Jackson Frost on the free throw line, where he is very consistent. 83% on the year on 54 attempts. And he makes it now a 2-possession game as he hits the first. 8-4 Raiders, 3:45 to go, first quarter. In comes number 2, Drennan Moorman for the first time tonight for Coach Bays and the Big Reds. Second one on the way from Frost is perfect. He's got 4 here in the first quarter, the lead 5 for Mount Ayr. Tuttle ahead to Stevens. Numbers here, 3-on-2, but Stevens unable to take advantage. Sinnott had to use every bit of that length to go up and get that pass. Moorman drives, kicks to Sinnott. Ryan gets in the lane, left hand goes and one. And that's what's got all the conference coaches in the South Central talking about number 21, Ryan Sinnott, what he can do at times. Still trying to piece it together to be more consistent, perhaps, as we showed it to you again right there on the Go SEC TV instant replay. But athletic as athletic can be. Sinnott trying to complete the old-fashioned three-point play, and he does. Ryan hitting his 29th free throw of the year. Makes it a 2-point game again. 9-7 Raiders, 3.5 remaining first quarter. Ruggles over to the left wing for Stark. Lost his dribble for a moment, but tracks it down. Ruggles right side. A three from Pearson on the right wing. He knew he missed it off the shot. Tried to follow it, but George was there. However, he threw it away. Stark got the steal and then got bumped along the baseline. Already 6 Centerville turnovers here this opening quarter. George picks up his first personal foul. Second team foul on Centerville. And for the Big Reds, 15 turnovers per game this year. Not too bad of a number, but still those already getting to be a bit of a problem here in the first quarter. Three from the corner, Ruggles can't finish, and George again on the glass. His third rebound. Stevens back the other way, gives it up to Tuttle. Brody to send it at the free throw line, kick out. Stevens has a good look for three, can't hit it. Rebound though to the corner for Mormon. Drennan back over to Tuttle, send it, works it around to Stevens. 2:45 to go first quarter, skip pass, Tuttle's got a good look, but it won't fall. Rebound, George, and one of the Raiders hit the deck on that. Sinnott ended up with it and banked in the shot. Ryan Sinnott's having a nice opening quarter here. 7 points for the junior. We're tied at 9. Coach Ruggles wanted contact on that down low from George. Three from Stark, and he hit it. They can come at you from so many different directions. This Mount Ayr team, they're very balanced. Sinnott on the drive, a blocking foul. It's another and one for Sinnott. And the home crowd thought it was a charge for sure, but Ryan gets the benefit. That's the first on Ruggles. And another opportunity for a three-point play here for the junior Ryan Sinnott, who's having a quarter. I see ya, 21. Chance to make it 10 here. And tie the ball game at that with 2:15 to go first quarter. George comes out for Centerville. Sinnott hits the free throw. With number 10 back in the ball game, Brandon Shin for the Big Reds. 12 all as we approach the 2-minute mark of the first. Three on the way from Ruggles, and he hit it. They shoot 32% from downtown on 16 attempts per game. They can certainly knock them in. Here, Stevens dribbling through some traffic, finds Tuttle. Brody trying to get it into Sinnott, and he couldn't squeeze it. The steal for 22, Tate Dugan. Turnover number 7. Other end, Frost got fouled on the floor prior to his shot. And that will go against Drennan Mormon, his first, team third. Megan Moore cheering on the Big Reds here tonight. And we've also got Gil Oker, Gil and Kyle, as a matter of fact, watching along with us. Ryan Sinnott gets himself a block there on the interior defense. Glad to have all you folks here with us on the South Central Conference Network tonight. Jackson Frost will inbound, finds Ruggles. A couple feet out, little runner, doesn't fall. Rebound for Sinnott. Ryan Sinnott making his presence felt all over the floor here in this first quarter. Under 90 seconds remain in the opening frame. Mormon almost lost his dribble. Takes it up, gives it away to Tuttle. And his pass tipped and taken by Jackson Frost. On the other end, Frost rises and fires. That one won't fall for him. Rebound underneath for 22, Dugan. Back out Ruggles, hitting the deck. Was 10 Shin there. And we got a foul on the floor. That'll go against the Big Reds on the drive from Frost. So that's on Mormon. That's 2 on Drennan, I beg your pardon. And it is going to go against the junior. Fourth team foul on the Big Reds as the clock stops with 64 seconds remaining here in our opening quarter. Frost inbounds to start, gave it up. Ruggles going to try another three. That's off the mark. Rebound, though, for Dugan. Back out, Frost hits the three. And a little shoulder shrug. Didn't think he hit it. He was going to follow for a rebound, and it fell right in. Back to 6 for the Raiders at 18-12. Sinnott keeps up with the dribble. Got it away to Shin. I'm not sure if he made the pass or it was just tipped out that way. And then Shin took one off the noggin from Stevens. Wasn't expecting it. For the 8th Big Red turnover. About a 3-second difference between shot and game clock here towards the end of the first quarter. Ruggles gets in the lane, stops just inside the free throw line and hit the jumper. 5 off the bench for Jackson Ruggles, and in the blink of an eye is an 8-point game. Big Reds back the other way. Shin Surveying, tried to find Sinnott at the free throw line. Stark jumped it. And then threw it away, trying to get Jason Frost heading back the other direction. Centerville takes over with 14 seconds remaining here in the first quarter and trailing by 8. It'll be Stevens to bring it up with 8 seconds. Right side, Tuttle with 5. Back to Stevens. 4. Inside, Sinnott at the free throw line. 2. Drives. Left hand finish for Ryan Sinnott, who has been a spark, if there ever was one, for the Big Reds here this first quarter. He alone has 12 points. 12 of the 14 belong to 21 as we bring the first quarter to a close with Centerville trailing by 6 on the road against the Mount Ayr Raiders. Second quarter coming up after this.